Good morning, Your Honor.
Happy Independence.
And the same to you. Kindly remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, land of beauty, our country, where peace abounds, thy children stand free on the strength of will and love, with God in all our struggles, Saint Kitts and Nevis be a nation bound together with a common destiny. As stalwarts we stand for justice and liberty, with wisdom and truth. We will serve and honor thee. No sword nor spear can conquer, for God will sure defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend.
Kindly remain standing for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we thank you for graciously allowing us the opportunity to gather here in recognition of members of our Nevis community who have given of themselves in and are still giving to its development. Excuse me. We ask that you will continue to grant them your favor in their endeavors, and that their contributions will never be forgotten or taken for granted. We thank you for bringing our beloved Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis to this milestone of 37 years of independence. And thank you for those who have diligently toiled and sacrificed to bring us to this proud moment. Grant our leaders your wisdom, your grace, and your favor as they seek your guidance in the governance of all. As citizens and residents, we ask that the theme of resilience, innovation, and security for Independence 2020 will be modeled in our individual and community lives as a nation at this time of a pandemic. Bless the proceedings this morning, O Lord, and may all be done to your honor and your glory. All these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I now invite Mr. Wakely Daniel to the podium to bring some brief words of greeting. Yes, kindly.
Your Honor, Mrs. Halita M. Liebert, OBE, MH, Deputy Governor General, and Mr. Elmer Liebert, MH, the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Civil Aviation, Premier of Nevis, and Mrs. Sharon Brantley, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Honorable Eric Evelyn, the Honorable Farrell Smithen, President of the Nevis Island Assembly, Honorable Spencer Brand, and Mrs. Brand, the Honorable Hugh Troy Liebert, and the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, Mrs. Helen A. Lewis, Legal Advisor, and Mr. Anthony Lewis, Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons, Member of the Opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly, Honorable Marjorie L. Morton, C.S.M., former Deputy Governor General, Your Excellency, Vance Emery, Ambassador in the Office of the Prime Minister, distinguished awardees, specially invited guests, welcome, happy Independence, and a pleasant morning to all. As part of our 37th Independence celebration, we are gathered here to give recognition to, applaud, and salute 10 outstanding divisions who have given sterling contribution in the area of health, education, culture, sports, entertainment, art, and security. These 10 men and women exemplify country above self and have meaningfully contributed to a nation building. This morning's ceremony will be slightly different to those of former years in that we will be reading the profiles of each of the awardees. When that is being done, you're kindly asked to stand, you've earned it, and you deserve it. After which, you can proceed to the front to receive your award. We'll kindly ask Her Honor to assist us with the presentation of the award, please. Thank you. Mr. Vaughn Anslyn, award for sterling contribution in the area of art. One of Nevis's most gifted artists is an accomplished painter, mostly known for his murals and immortalization of the uncelebrated through his painting. This multifaceted artist has made significant contributions in other fields as a decorator, personal trainer, actor, yoga instructor, model, fashion designer, and audiovisual technician. Mr. Anslyn was born and raised on Chapel Street, Charlestown, Nevis, to Mother Gloria and Father Arthur Anslyn. He inherited his business sense from his parents, who are both well-known business entrepreneurs in Nevis. Mr. Anslyn received his educational start at the Charlestown Preparatory and Charlestown Secondary Schools. He has been doing the background of Culturama stage since 1986 and has designed the outfit and costumes for many of the winning contestants. Not many events are held on Nevis where Vaughn is not in the background in some capacity. A lover of the immortalization and an admirer of everyday people, he reminds persons of the talents and beauty that a roadside vagrant or a special needs person possesses. One of the local icons that Vaughn Anslyn has immortalized is the late Thunder, a young five player who he painted on the Nevis Culturama stage as part of his talent in the Mr. Cool show, which he won, becoming the first and most remembered Mr. Cool. Many persons of local renown, such as Dabby, Jamdem, Soul, and Helen Haghole, can be seen immortalized by Vaughn on the wall of fame at the Nevis Bakery. His murals of the local stalwarts of Nevis and his series of exhibitions in St. Kitts and Nevis have made him a household name in the Federation. Mr. Anslyn noted that what sets him apart from others is the fact that he tries not to set himself apart. I try to be me, yet I don't say that I am better than anyone else, only trying to be better than myself. Each individual is different, and I have always believed in the saying, you know my name, but it doesn't mean you know me. Mr. Anslyn has made a name for himself in Nevis and has ensured that through his art, his name will never die, and that his work will forever be etched in Nevis's history. Mr. Vaughn Anslyn, award for sterling contribution in the area of art.
Ms. Thelma E. Hunkins. Born to parents Samuel and Elsie Hunkins, Thelma was always the more outgoing one of the twins. She was always active in church, school, and all other activities that her parents got her involved in. She excelled at most things, but the one not known by many is athletics. Yes, when she attended the grammar school in St. Kitts for sixth form, she ran her way to becoming the Victrix Lodorum during her tenure there in 1960. She worked for a number of years in the civil service, mostly in St. Kitts with the Social Welfare Department, and went on to gain a diploma in social work in 1971. Having left the civil service, she decided that she wanted to go into the funeral business that her father had started and plunged in headfirst in 1975. As the business grew, she left Nevis and traveled to England to pursue her certificate in embalming and became a member of the British Institute of Embalmers in 1981 and continues to be a member up to today. She has provided yeoman's service in her field and has counseled many through their grief. Thelma is also very active in the community and has spearheaded many projects that we see around today. Having lost quite a few friends on the MV Christina, and looking at the prospect that it was fate why she wasn't on the ill-fated vessel, she set out to ensure that there was a permanent memorial for the victims. The memorial site at the Bath Cemetery was initiated and pursued by her until it became a reality. Being a lover of decorating, Miracle on Main Street is another of her initiatives. She lobbied and sometimes harassed so that there was that spectacle that is put on at Christmas time and was its co-chair in 2014. Some of her other accomplishments are as follows. Participated in the Student Summer Attachment from 2004, training students in all aspects of working with funerals. ECSI pilot project in 2014. Secretary at the Charlestown Preparatory School inception to 1979. Secretary of the Nevis Mental Health Association. Assisting the Nevis Red Cross in recovery post-Hurricane Hugo, 1980 to 1990. Chairperson of the Island Garden Competition from 1997 to 2000. A Culturama Committee member with various roles. Recognized by the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce for contributions to the institution from 1967 to 2010. A member of the YWCA in Nevis and an active member of Y Teens Group in the 1970s and the 1980s. An active member of the Nevis Girl Guides Association, starting out as a Brownie Guide and progressing through the ranks over the years. A member of the AYPA in the 1960s. Thelma is still very active today and can always be called upon to donate her time and energy to her beloved island, especially in the area of health. She is one of the donors to the Alexandra Hospital and Flamboyant Nursing Home and continues to pledge her support to these institutions. In the area of, awarded for her sterling contribution in the areas of community service and business, we present Ms. Thelma Hunkins.
Mr. Oscar Astro Brown. Award for sterling contribution in the areas of culture and music. Mr. Oscar Astro Brown was born and raised in the historic village of Brownhill, Nevis, on July 16, 1970, to parents Lavington and Glennis Brown. He married to Althea Hunkins Brown, and the relationship bore one son, Ajari Brown. At a youthful age, Oscar's interest in calypso was piqued after witnessing his peers' participation in the art form. In 1987, he participated in his first Culturama Junior Calypso competition. In 1988, he placed second runner-up. Since 1997, the accomplishments as a contender in the Senior Calypso Monarch competition are as follows. Second runner-up in 2000, 2004, 2011, 2013, and 2016. First runner-up in 2007, 2014, and 2018. Culturama Calypso Monarch winner 2003, 2006, 2010, and 2015. He participated in the Nevis Agriculture Department Open Day in 2014 and was crowned Farm King. Astro also competed in the St. Kitts and Nevis National Carnival Calypso competition from 2008 to present. His accomplishments are as follows. Third runner-up in 2008 and 2013. First runner-up in 2009 and 2019. St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Calypso Monarch winner in 2014 and 2015. Not being outdone, Astro competed in the Leeward Island Calypso competition in 2003, 2006, 2010, and 2015. In 2015, Astro became the first Calypsonian to represent the Federation in the Leeward Islands Calypso competition. On the regional front, Astro competed in the World Calypso competition in Trinidad and Tobago in 2006, where, from a field of 24 Calypsonians, Astro was one of the 10 finalists selected to compete for the coveted title. To this day, Astro has viewed this feat, the consecutive wins, as the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Calypso Monarch and the winning of his first Culturama crown as his greatest achievements. Other accomplishments include performance at the opening ceremony at the new Warner Park Cricket Stadium in 2005, nominated for the Nevis Youth and Sports Department Palm Awards in 2001 and 2004, guest performer at NEV DC Washington Gala event in 2010 and 2015, guest performer at Heart and Hands New York Gala event in 2016. Astro has also performed in Dominica, St. Thomas, St. Eustatius as part of their carnival celebration. Astro's greatest calypso influences are Black Stallion, David Rudder, and of international fame and of local fame, King Bingi. Astro also credits his family, Crichton Crusader Pension, Tyrone Sackloth and Ashes O'Flaherty, Colin Tyrrell, Antonio Abernathy Liebert, Cartwright Farrell, the sponsors, contributors, fans, and critics for his success as a Calypsonian. Ladies and gentlemen, King Astro, awarded for sterling contribution in the area of culture and music.
For his contribution to entertainment in the areas of culture and music, we have Mr. Calvary Garlick Swanston. Calvary Swanston was born on the 2nd of March, 1974, to proud parents Uriel and Elsa Swanston. He was the last of his parents' 8 children. Calver's family had a musical base, and so music was a big part of his life growing up. After witnessing Michael Jackson perform on television, Mr. Swanston knew he wanted to entertain and pursue music. he entered Culturama Calypso Monarch competitions and made it to the finals on a number of occasions. He proved himself to be a talented performer, known to delight any audience. Onlookers were delighted when he performed Michael Jackson's Moonwalk to Perfection at his primary school concert. He received his primary and secondary education here on Nevis. Upon graduating from school, he decided to make music and entertaining his career and chose for himself the stage name Garlic. This decision came with its full share of difficulties, as many persons close to him sought to discourage him. He remembers being told that music is not a real job, and he needs to get a real job, but he followed his passion. This has seen him making it to the finals of the Culturama Senior Calypso competition on 2 occasions. He also entered and placed second in one other Calypso competition. He is also proud to have been crowned Mr. Cool in the second staging of that competition. He has also appeared on the St. Kitts Music Festival stage on a number of occasions, and he has also appeared on the international stage, a highlight of which was his appearance at the 13th Annual Independence Dinner and Ball, hosted by the St. Kitts and Nevis Association of Florida, Incorporated. At this function, he attended as part of the supporting act for King Miko, who was being honored. But when the MC for the evening was unavoidably delayed, Garlic came to the rescue, offering to host the event, and did a spectacular job of it. He was subsequently awarded by the organizers. He has performed at the Four Seasons Resort for Bill Cosby, Janet Jackson, President George Bush, Britney Spears, and Rod Stewart, to name a few. Garlic's success as an entertainer did not come overnight. He recalls his years of performing with the Caribbean Roots Band and thanks the band leader, Postman, and Jazik for the role they played in nurturing him as an entertainer. He is also thankful to musical greats, the likes of Lionel Richie, Eddie Grant, Bunny Wailer, all of whom have interacted with him personally and given him their endorsement and encouragement. Calvary, Garlic Swanston, has not been all about self. Along the way, he has made his contribution to society. He has arranged for the Zion Chapel Senior Choir for their Christmas program. He has also helped out the Red Cross and Nurses Association. He choreographed one of the dances for the St. Thomas's Primary first and only dance production. He has also done some interior decoration and fashion designing for both male and female. Garlic wishes to encourage young aspiring artists to follow their dreams. Never let anyone discourage you. Be driven by your own passion and not by anyone else's thoughts. In the area of art and entertainment, culture, and music, we congratulate Mr. Calvary Garlic Swanston.
Mrs. Althea E. Jones, Teacher Althea, Award for sterling contribution in the area of education. Althea Jeffers Jones was born on the 3rd September 1955 in the village of Mount Lily, where she has lived all her life. She is married to Rudolph Jones and is the mother of 3 children. Her early education was at the Combermere All-Age School and later the Charlestown Secondary School. Althea started her teaching career at the Old Whitehall School in 1973, and after 2 years, she enrolled in the St. Kitts and Nevis Teacher Training College. In 1979, she was assigned to the Combermere All-Age School, where she spent 20 years of her teaching career. During her tenure at Combermere, she taught at grade 6 for 16 years and served as deputy principal for 10 years. She taught the grade 10 students CSE mathematics. She also prepared numerous students for various competitions and has had many successes. At Combermere, she managed the School Apex cooperatives, selling school supplies, school uniforms, and operated the school's saving program. In 1999, she was transferred to the St. Thomas's Primary School, where she spent 1 year. This was one of the high points in her teaching career. After 27 years of teaching in the primary school, she was transferred to the Gingerland Secondary School to fulfill her lifelong dream of specializing in the teaching of mathematics. She was forced to retire from teaching due to ill health after giving 32 years in the noble profession of teaching. Although retired, she still has a passion for math, and as a result, she tutors at her home, preparing children and adults for CXC mathematics. Many persons have benefited from her expertise. A very committed and dedicated teacher she was, one who went beyond the call of duty to ensure her students' success. Presently, she is employed as a registration officer for the constituency number 11, St. James's and St. Thomas. Mrs. Jones attributes her success to the true living God. His favor has allowed her to be a recipient of numerous awards presented to her for her outstanding performance over the years. These include Combermere School Award, 1990, School Apex Award for Dedicated Service, 1989-2000, Chamber of Industry and Commerce Academic Excellence Award, 1987-2004, Education Department Long Service Award, 1999, Retirement Award, 2004, Teachers Professional Day Honorary Award, 2008, Nevis Teachers Union Award, 2004-2009, Fountain New Testament Church of God Award, 2008, 2013, and 2018, Fountain and Mount Lily Community Improvement Club Award, 2007-2009, International Women's Day Award, 2011, and Heart and Hands for Nevis Incorporated Award, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Althea Jones, Teacher Althea, Award for sterling contribution in the area of education.
Miss Laurel Smithen, awarded for her sterling contribution in the area of health. Miss Laurel Aita Smithen originates from the peaceful village of Matchman's Road, Gingerland in Nevis. Her career goal was to become a nurse, and on the 20th of October 1980, she commenced the first step in achieving that goal. She started training as a student nurse at the Joseph N. France JNF School of Nursing on St. Kitts. She was appointed student nurse on the 1st of January 1981. She successfully completed the 3 years of general nursing training and subsequently the 1-year training in midwifery, and was transferred to the Alexandra Hospital on Nevis. Nurse Smithen was appointed as staff nurse on the 1st of April 1985. During her tenure, she always demonstrated much dedication to duty and functioned well on all units. However, she developed a great love for the operating room. She pursued a course in operating theater techniques at the University Hospital of the West Indies in Mona, Jamaica, from January in 1999 to January of 2000. She was extremely elated as she was the top of the class among other students from the region She returned to work and was promoted to the nurse in charge of the operating room, and was appointed assistant nurse manager on the 1st of September 2003, and subsequently as full nurse manager in June of 2013. She retired from active service on the 1st of January 2018. However, she returned to work on a part-time basis to assist in the operating room up to present. Nurse Smithen has dedicated her life to her profession of nursing and has spent 38 years doing yeoman service for her country. We express profound gratitude to her for her dedication and commitment in the field of health and salute her on this prestigious award. Nurse Laurel Smithen.
Dr. Whitman T. Brown Award for sterling contribution in the area of literature. Whitman Brown is a native of Nevis, born in Butler's Village. His formal education ended as an elementary student at St. James's Whitehall School, where he was called to service as a pupil teacher at the same school. He did write the entrance exam to the Charleston Secondary School at age 11, but until today, there is no awareness of the results. Meanwhile, as a pupil teacher, he was challenged to teach effectively and grow academically. At Whitehall School, teacher Whitman taught at the 2nd and 5th grade levels. He also had to prepare for, then write teacher qualifying and academic exams on his own. After being successful in the GCE, Brown was given the opportunity to study for professional teaching certification at the Teachers College in Antigua. That was a 2-year program. On returning to Nevis, Brown was assigned to the Combermere School as a 5th grade teacher. While at the Combermere School, the Christina sank. Brown served as acting principal, and he was awarded a scholarship to study for a bachelor's degree in the United States. Brown completed his bachelor's degree in history at Ursinus College, then was offered scholarship for graduate study at Lehigh University, Temple University, and he completed his PhD studies at Walden University. While at Lehigh and Temple Universities, Brown also worked as a teacher and administrator for the Arlington, PA School District. On returning to St. Kitts Nevis in 1976, then in 1980, Brown was assigned as lecturer in social studies education at the Teachers College in St. Kitts. Later, he worked at the St. Kitts Nevis Development Bank. On his own time, Brown organized the swim across the Narrows Channel from Nevis 2 times, 2 swims from Nag's Head into Bastia Harbor, and started the research for his first 3 books about the Christina tragedy. It was the research for his first Christina book that inspired his research about labor unionism and Robert Bratcher in St. Kitts. Brown migrated to St. Thomas, Virgin Islands in 1984. He worked with the public school system at the University of the Virgin Islands and also ran the private Seventh-day Adventist school on the island until July 2020. Despite his engagement in the USVI, Brown was also in touch with his home. He writes for the newspapers, visits and gives special lectures, and continues to do research on the island's history and politics. Actually, the dissertation for his PhD deals with the leadership on the island of St. Kitts. He is convinced that Caribbean people should do the research and become engaged in writing and telling their own stories. For Brown, being a student of history has made him a powerful, transformative force in his life. His soon-to-be-released autobiography, My Birth Was Not Destiny, confirms this. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Whitman T. Brown Award for sterling contribution in the area of literature. He's unable to be with us this morning, seeing that he's overseas, but we do appreciate his contribution to the island of Nevis.
Captain James Green, awarded for his sterling contribution in the area of maritime service. It is with great pride and joy that Captain James Green stands before you today receiving this Independence Award for the 40 years of service in the maritime sector of this, our beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. At the tender age of 19, he joined the St. Kitts Nevis Police Force, where, on completion of his initial training of 6 months, he was assigned to the maritime sector of the force and then the police boat, where his career in this sector commenced. He worked on these small police boats, such as Rangers 1 and 2, patrolling our coastline. In 1993, for the nation's independence, the police boat sector was upgraded to the St. Kitts Nevis Coast Guard with the arrival of the 110-foot cutter Stalwart. Captain Green worked in the Coast Guard, attaining the rank of corporal until 1987. He was then transferred to the government-owned ferry, the MV Carib Queen, where he worked under the tutelage of the late Captain Anslyn for 12 years as mate. In 1999, he took over the captaincy of that vessel after the retirement of the late great deceased Captain Roy Anslyn. He captained the vessel, the MV Carib Queen, for 5 years. In 2004, the then government privatized the ferry service and closed that sector. Captain Green was then transferred to the Maritime Department that is tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that all vessels, whether cargo or passenger, plying their trade within the Federation's waters are compliant and equipped with the necessary safety equipment mandated by international, regional, and local regulations. Captain Green worked in that department for another 10 rewarding years, and on attaining the age of 57 years, he retired from government service on December 31st, 2015, after a most rewarding and gratifying 38 years in the maritime sector of our beloved Federation. It is worthy of note that even after retiring from government service, Captain Green has made himself available for voluntary service in the maritime sector by offering consultation and training in navigation. For the love of his nation, even unto this day, Mr. Green renders service as a captain when he's called upon. Sterling contribution in the area of maritime service, Captain James Green.
Mr. Austin Lescott Award for sterling contribution in the area of security. Austin Lescott is a Nevisian who grew up in Camps Village and attended the Combermere All-Age and Charlestown Secondary Schools. Upon graduation, he entered the police service. Mr. Lescott has a rich background in security which spans over 30 years in policing. His career in this field started in 1973 when he enlisted as a police officer in the Royal St. Kitts and Nevis Police Force. After training, he worked at several police stations in St. Kitts. He served in various capacities in the police force and rose to the rank of inspector. He served as head of the drug squad for many years and his team was nicknamed the Real Police because of its effectiveness. Mr. Lescott attended several training sessions in the Caribbean as well as the United States of America and Canada. He obtained many certificates and recommendations. Among these is a commendation from the Metropolitan Police Service for leadership, professionalism, dedication to duty, and tenacity whilst working under difficult and dangerous circumstances and without consideration for his personal safety. The knowledge and skill gained from the many training sessions is what propelled him into the field of security upon retirement. It was a dream come true when he started A+ Security Service Limited in 2006 with just 2 employees and 1 client, the Bank of Nevis Limited. It was a mammoth task, but he was determined to make it a success. The company experienced several challenges in the early years, but it continued to move forward. Mr. Lescott's positive attitude and his all will be well mentality has helped his company to survive in spite of many challenges. Mr. Lescott has the capacity to remain calm in spite of trying circumstances. He is always nice, just a nice guy. Presently, the company provides security for both public and private institutions. The company offers a range of services, including guard security, armed and unarmed cash in transit, crowd control, limited investigation, and serving of documents. Under the leadership of Mr. Lescott, A+ Security has made a difference in the area of security. The company has been rated by some persons as the best in the area of crowd control. Mr. Lescott's vision is to see the company expand to St. Kitts. He also envisions expanding to another area in security, monitoring, and responding to alarm system. The company's growth is attributed to Mr. Lescott's tenacity, combined with the loyalty and dedication of the employees. Mr. Lescott gives God thanks for the progress of A+ Security. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oskin Lescott, award for sterling contribution in the area of security.
For his sterling contribution in the area of sport, Mr. Winston Crook. Mr. Winston Crook was born in Birmingham, England in 1957, of parents Stanley Crook of Sandy Point, St. Kitts, and Lilith Amory of Gingerland in Nevis. He is the third of 8 children. Winston moved to Nevis in 1991 to open a windsurfing school, but has made huge strides from renting a small fleet of bicycles out of his small windsurfing shop and offering guided tours to being a pioneer in the fields of swimming, cycling, and triathlon. After faltering entry into the biking arena at a mountain bike race in St. Kitts in 1997, Mr. Crook was instrumental in forming the Nevis Cycle Club. This formalized the sport of cycling in Nevis and led to many opportunities for persons in the field to participate in regional and international biking or cycling competitions. It was Mr. Winston Crook who had the idea to start doing triathlon right here on Nevis, first with a mini-series and then a full Olympic sprint distance event, which went well. During the years 2001 to 2007, Mr. Crook played a major role in developing the triathlon subculture, both here and within the Caribbean, hosting tournaments here at home and taking the Nevis team off island, as with the Caribbean Cup, to make a name for themselves around the region, with triathlon in Nevis becoming one of the best events in the region, attracting athletes from overseas as well. Mr. Crook's passion for swimming and cycling has made him an unofficial ambassador for his maternal homeland, as he has put Nevis on the map as a hub for sports tourism. His accomplishments include making contact with the UCI and ITU world governing bodies for cycling and triathlon respectively, to have the Cycling and Triathlon Federations reinstated and headquartered in Nevis, having Nevis host for the first time the OECS Cycling Championships, representing St. Kitts and Nevis at the ITU Triathlon Age Group World Championships in Hamburg, Germany, bringing a Continental Cup Triathlon to the shores of Nevis, which saw 138 athletes from 25 countries converge on Nevis to compete, taking a team of 4 athletes from Nevis to compete in the Cycling World Championships in Medrisio, Switzerland, creating the St. Kitts and Nevis Swimming Federation, recognized by the world governing body, FINA. In 2011, persuading the Monaco-based TriStar Group to host their first event outside of Europe on the tiny island of Nevis. TriStar 111 Nevis was successfully hosted in Nevis in November of that year. Mr. Crook negotiated with TriStar to have Chris McCormack at the inaugural event. Chris returned to Nevis in November of 2013 with his own brand of triathlon, the Maca X Nevis Triathlon, undertaking the training of 10 Special Olympic athletes in an endurance program to prepare them to compete at the Special Olympic World Games in Abu Dhabi in 2019. Their training included open water swimming, cycling, and triathlon, which was the newest sport for Special Olympics. 2 open water swimmers, 2 triathletes, and 2 cyclists from the 3-year endurance training program brought home 7 of the 17 medals that the Special Olympics team SKN won there. Sourcing the funds to build St. Kitts and Nevis's very first dedicated swimming facility, a 25-meter in-house water pool. Taking athletes from St. Kitts and Nevis to compete at the Age Group World Championships in Lausanne, Switzerland. Further, he took the largest triathlon team ever, 7 athletes, including himself, to the Triathlon Age Group World Championships in Chicago. Assisting with the early development of the Swim to Win program, which recently put on an event to honor the 50th year since the MV Christina disaster. There were 4 swimmers who made the 9-kilometer swim from the wreck site to Pinny's Beach. Organizing in 2002, the Nevis to St. Kitts cross-channel swim, a 4-kilometer, 2.5-mile open water swim to celebrate the life of an early club member, Benty Weber, who was sadly taken by cancer. The 2014 event attracted over 200 swimmers. Qualifying to be able to officiate as an ITU triathlon official at world-renowned triathlon events in Europe, Australia, South America, and the Caribbean. Mr. Winton Crook intimates that it has been an exhilarating ride being engaged in these fringe sports. He has won many medals and trophies as an athlete. He has coached many young people in these wonderful sports. He has developed events for the benefit of the people of Nevis and has tried his best to represent his country as positively as possible. We present Mr. Winston Crook, awarded for his sterling contribution in the area of sports. We wish to thank Her Honor for kindly distributing the awards for us. Thank you, Your Honor. And with that, we have come to the end of a very brief ceremony, and we congratulate all of the awardees this morning. We wish everyone a happy Independence and enjoy the rest of your day. As we finish, we invite everyone to return to the registration desk just to collect a little refreshment. I'm sorry? On your way up. Yes. Yes. So we invite everyone to return to the registration desk just to collect a little something on your way out. Happy Independence to everyone. Okay.